Prepared a demo for you. Yeah, I have. I prepared a demo for you that's going to show you how to brush your dog's teeth, what products are safe to use, and where to get them. After we watch that demo, we will go on a deep dive into all aspects of dog dental care, okay? I was working my fingers to the bone getting all my notes together for you guys tonight on this topic. And I could have spent another 2 days on it, honestly. So I'm hoping to give you everything you're looking for tonight. We're going to learn when to start implementing a dental routine for our pets, including puppies and mature dogs. We're going to learn that tonight, guys. And even senior dogs, too. Don't forget that they may already have existing tooth decay or teeth and gum problems. But we're going to talk about what can we do about that, okay? What's safe? Is it too late for those older dogs and those mature dogs to now start to become actively trying to help them with their dental health, especially if they already have existing problems? Is it too late? We're going to talk about that, guys. No, it's not too late. I will never say it's too late to start putting procedures in place that can elevate your dog's health into something better than what it is. So we're also going to talk tonight about when to consider the option to have your dog visit a vet for a complete dental. We're going to talk about that tonight, guys. I'm going to give you everything I got on this topic, and including some things that I had to research myself because I wanted to bring a big volume of information to you from other professionals as well. I don't want to mislead you. I never do. So that's a big question. When do we go ahead and do those complete dentals with our vet? Often, I don't know, we all have different vets. My vet often recommends it almost yearly, and I know a lot of vets don't. And here's what I say: if they don't need it, we don't do it. And what we're going to learn here tonight is how to prevent our dogs from having a buildup, an abundance of plaque and tartar, so that we don't have to worry about dental disease. It's a bad thing. We're also going to talk tonight about genetic teeth dispositions in dogs. There is such a thing. Some dogs have some genetics that are not in their favor. Okay, it's in the genes. So, and that applies to many dogs, guys, many dog breeds. That we have to, how are we going to combat that if they are genetically predisposed to having tooth and gum disease? So I covered that for you too, guys. Some dogs do not cooperate with us when we want to brush their teeth, do they? So I've prepared a few options for you to try that may be acceptable to your dog. So if one thing doesn't work for your dog, that doesn't mean you can't do it. That means we approach it a different way. There may be a way that your dog says, hey, I'm going to accept that, So it's called reasoning with them, all right? So we're also going to talk tonight about can treats and even food, even the dog food that we feed our dogs, can that accelerate tooth and gum disease? I will talk to you about that, guys. We have a lot to discuss. And the last thing that we're going to discuss here tonight is how dental disease can affect your dog's overall well-being and how it can actually shorten their lifespan. And we have to talk about that topic. That's why it's the last one that we will talk about. That is a topic that I do not enjoy talking about, okay? How dental disease can affect your dog's overall health, well-being, and shorten their lifespan. I don't like talking about that. But as a professional dog groomer, I have taken a front row seat to observing how quickly a dog that suffers from poor dental health can decline, and the signs that show that they're suffering. I see it because I see them every 6 weeks or less. So I can see the declining and what's going on there. And we're going to talk about that, okay? So, are you ready for a demo? I am. It's a good one. It's just planting the seeds, giving us what we're going to talk about. Before I roll it, I want to tell you guys, I'm not going to enter a poll in the chat for questions because that failed us 2 weeks ago. So I'm not going to play with it today because I don't want to mess up our chat. So we're going to go back to our old faithful. So I want you to hold, press and hold the dash line on your keyboard or on your phone to make a line, and then put your question, then type your question. Then I can see it in the chat, okay? I want to get you answers. I always do. I can't stand it when I go back on the replay and I see that I did not answer a question. That really bothers me. So are you ready? Let's roll a good demo for you. This is our demo tonight, guys. As soon as I can find it. You know I have slippery fingers. Here you go. I'll see you in a minute and we're going to dive deep into this topic. Did you know that 80% of dogs over the age of 3 have active dental disease? The most common dental problem seen in dogs is periodontal disease and fractured teeth. Today we're going to talk about ways that you can prevent this and keep your dog smiling for years. Implementing a daily routine of teeth brushing for your dog is definitely highly recommended. Be sure to use products and tools that are designed for a dog. Remember, human products can be toxic to dogs, so stick with our pet-friendly products. These toothbrushes are made for dogs and they're made to be gentle. There are many toothpaste made for dogs, so pick the one that your dog likes. This one happens to be poultry flavored and Gus seems to like it because they are going to ingest it. If you apply too much pressure when you're brushing your dog's teeth, you can actually cause a gum problem. So be very gentle, be very soft-handed. This is a foam style of toothpaste made by Tropiclean, and Gus seems to like it just as well as the poultry flavored. And if using a toothbrush is awkward for you and your dog, you can simply just use a washcloth with the toothpaste on it and massage around the gum line of your dog. And to help prevent tartar and plaque buildup, you can choose this oral care gel that can be applied to your dog's teeth and gum daily to help prevent tartar and plaque. This product is natural, it is safe, it does not require brushing. There are also dental stick treats that you can give your dog as a treat to help promote good tooth and gum health. I am very, very picky about what I give my dogs as treats, and they don't get many treats because I want them to get their nutrition from their food. But I've researched these dental sticks and they do also promote a good immune system support. They're easily digestible, so your dog is going to eat this. These are not going to cause any blockage. They also don't have a lot of junk in them, and that's why I like them. And all of these products are linked below, guys. A good piece of advice that I can give you guys is to never ever allow your dog to chew on a bone or a treat, any type of chew, without you supervising. Some dogs are very aggressive and will swallow everything whole. Be sure to supervise them when you give them treats and bones. Now let's move on to the fun stuff for our dogs. Some toys and bones for your dogs can actually help prevent tartar and plaque just by them chewing and playing with these toys. These are a couple of favorites for my dogs. Again, never give them bones or chew toys or treats without you being present in case they could ingest something. These wishbones and rope toys and Kong toys are pretty much the toys that we have in our house for our dogs. Most of the chew toys that we have in our house for our boys are Kong toys because they're both aggressive chewers. The rope toys they really do like, but I will tell you, I only give them rope toys supervised. They will actually eat these toys. And you know, this is not a material that should be ingested. However, when they chew on toys like this, it is very, very good for helping to reduce plaque and tartar on their teeth. That chewing that they do with these types of chew toys, it's very helpful in preventing these problems for our dogs. But I always supervise them, especially with these rope toys. They're very inexpensive, as you can see. I've included the links below. They're like, you know, $5 toys, $6 toys from Groomer's Choice. So because they're so inexpensive, it's a good idea to buy 3 or 4 of them at a time and then just throw them away when they start to become unraveled, because your dog will start to pull that apart and eat it. You don't want that. So just buy a couple of them and keep them on hand, throw them away when they start to get unraveled. Now I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you guys. I do not brush my dog's teeth. I should, but because I feed my dogs a completely unprocessed whole food diet, I feed them the farmer's dog, I don't see any problems with their teeth. And they do chew on bones and play with toys a lot. I rarely give them treats because I don't want to give them junk food. I want them to get the nutrition from their food, not treats. 3 years ago, we started feeding them raw, then we switched to Ollie, and now we're on the farmer's dog because I like it better. This year, I partnered with the farmer's dog as an ambassador pro, and I'm so glad I did because now I can offer you all a 100% free trial of their food. You will find the link to that 100% free trial in the description of this video, and please give it a try for your dogs, guys. The benefits exceed the cost. Hey, this is one of those carrot treats. Honestly, I'm telling you, it doesn't taste bad. It really doesn't. And if I'm going to feed it to my dogs, I should be able to eat it. It's a little chewy, but actually, I know this is disgusting, but this is not bad. I can't believe it's a little sweet. I can taste the carrot in there and the sweetness of carrots. And it actually has a little bit of mint in it I can taste. But what I like about this one, this brand, and you can get them from Groomer's Choice, is that the majority of the ingredients are very natural. They do have to have some type of preservative in there. As you can see, it's like a citric acid. It's really, really not bad. I'm not a fan of treats. I'm not a fan of chews. I'm not a fan of greenies at all. These may be a pretty good alternative. I'm telling you, I'm eating it. See? It's not bad. It's really not. So, let's get to talking. We have a lot to talk about. Gosh, I'm feeling full. Now, one question that y'all might be wondering right out of the gate is when to start implementing a dental routine for our pets, including puppies or mature dogs. So if you just rescued a dog, wow, you may already have some problems. You may already have a little bit of existing tooth and gum decay. What do I do? That's okay. Oftentimes this is the case. And oftentimes we're dealing with our senior dogs that are starting to get some pretty good buildup going on them. But when do you start implementing this? Well, right away, absolutely. Start a toothbrushing routine 3 times weekly when you get a puppy. But what I want to say to you guys, we're just teaching them to accept it. You don't need to use toothpaste when it's a puppy. In fact, I don't encourage it. Till the puppy's adult teeth are present, which usually somewhere around 4 to 6 months. I think Sean's in here, if it's SVCC, she would know exactly. I think it's between 4 to 6 months of age that we'll see our puppy's adult teeth come in. Well, we don't have to worry about brushing with toothpaste and stuff until then. Puppies often have sensitive stomachs, and I just don't recommend using the toothpaste that is made for dogs, but I don't recommend using it for the puppies or dog tooth bones for puppies. I don't see it to be a necessity, and sometimes their stomach can be very sensitive because they're so new, so. But it's okay starting to brush their teeth with either a toothbrush or take a wet washcloth, and start massaging in circular motions around the teeth and the gums. That is actually, if your dog does not care for the dog toothbrushes, and remember, all the products are linked in the description, guys. They are all there from Groomer's Choice, and you can get 10% off if you use my code GOGROOMER if it's your first purchase from Groomer's Choice. But all these products are there. Some dogs don't like toothbrushes. They don't like anything, any type of tool looking thing, nothing in their mouth. And that's when you go for the washcloth. You get a washcloth because it has some texture that it will be able to massage and sort of remove the plaque and the tartar from the teeth. You're really not going to see any on a puppy's teeth. We're only merely just teaching them to accept toothbrushing as a routine, as part of their lives, okay? That's what we're doing with our puppies. They're gonna lose those teeth and get new ones by the time they're 4 to 6 months old. And because they will be losing all their puppy teeth at about 6 months of age, we're just teaching them to accept the brushing their teeth is something that they're gonna have to do. And when the adult teeth come in, your dog will be accustomed to this process. Then that's their last set of teeth. That's all they're getting, okay? So now it's time where we can start adding in our toothpaste for pets. Never use human toothpaste. It is toxic to dogs. So your pet, made for pets toothpaste is very important. Pick out the one you like working with. Pick out the one your dog likes working with. And did you know that 80% of dogs over the age of 3, only 3 years old, 80% of dogs have active dental disease? I want to show you what that looks like. I don't like gross pictures, but I gotta be real. In case you're wondering, what does it look like? This is quite of a severe case, I would say. This right here, you can see the gums are starting to recede. That there is inflammation. There's probably infection in there for sure. We're gonna be talking about that in a second, guys. Infection. I'm gonna get down and dirty with you about this, but this is what it looks like. Sometimes your dog will just have minimal plaque and tartar, but by having this routine in place, we won't allow them to get into this condition, okay? And if your dog's teeth are in this condition, don't worry, I have solutions for you, okay? I'm going to give you the best advice I can give you tonight. So because we know that 80% of dogs over the age of 3 have active dental disease, and that's just a fact, it's normal. Periodontal disease is one term you're going to hear a lot. It is most common. This is the most common dental issue in dogs, periodontal disease. You know, people can get that too. And it's caused by the accumulation of dental plaque and tartar on the teeth, which triggers inflammation. And periodontal disease affects the teeth and the gums in our dogs, 80% of dogs, right? So it's a real thing. It can result in gum infections, bone loss of the teeth, and worse than that, if left untreated. If we leave it like the dog I just showed you, and it continues to get worse, if left untreated over time, they're definitely going to lose some of their teeth, but worse than that, they could definitely suffer some other serious health problems stemmed from these infections. So we will dive into that. Is it too late for your mature dog, let's say that. Is it too late for your mature or senior dog to benefit from a weekly dental care routine, especially if they have signs of plaque and tartar on their teeth existing? Is it too late? No, it's not too late. If your dog has tooth decay or heavy buildup present on their teeth, like the picture I just showed you, if your dog's teeth look similar to that, or maybe even not quite that bad, it is wise to schedule an appointment with your vet to see if a complete dental cleaning is needed. Do not scale your dog's teeth yourself at home, okay? I'm going to tell you why. There are tools you can purchase from any pet supply store, from any of our distributors, that are for scaling the teeth of dogs, but I'm going to tell you why not to, okay? They're made to remove heavy plaque and tartar, okay? Dogs have a very thin layer of enamel. That's their protectant. Dogs have a very thin layer of enamel that protects the porous layer of their teeth. If you use metal scaling tools, you could damage or remove the protective enamel, that layer, and now you're sacrificing your dog's ability to repel plaque and tartar naturally. That's why I say don't use the metal scaling tools. We're tempted to do it, but we don't know if we're applying too much pressure, and maybe we are scratching the surface away of the dog's enamel. They only get one set of enamel, okay? When it's gone, it's gone. I'm going to talk to you about that later when we get into the genetic dispositions that dogs may suffer from, okay? So we are going to revisit that in a minute. So if your dog's teeth are bad, look, let me show you the picture again. If your dog's teeth are looking, it's pretty bad, okay? And it can be painful for them. This is a painful disease. If they're looking like that, guys, schedule a complete dental cleaning with your vet and only perform the safe dental care maintenance at home to prevent future plaque and tartar buildup. Consistently brush your dog's teeth weekly. 3 times a week at least, okay? consider allowing them to chew on bones, real bones, or chew toys like Kongs daily with your supervision to eliminate the possibility of them choking or swallowing large pieces. We don't want that. Always supervise your dog having a bone, a chew, or a Kong, okay? Anything. Dogs can be a very aggressive chewer, okay? And they can slip things down in their throat. They can choke, swallow large pieces that could become an obstruction in their bowel. They can be very aggressive chewers, so always supervise it. But also consider the oral dental care by Tropiclean applied to the teeth and gums once daily. I think I'm going to implement this practice into my routine with my dogs. I will be honest with you, I said it in the demo, I don't brush my dog's teeth, and I'll tell you why later. But I do see a benefit in this. With Big Gus, I saw a very little fine layer of a little bit of tartar buildup right at the ridge of his gum line and his tooth. I feel like this product could probably eliminate that issue from me, considering we're starting from a good place. His teeth look great. So I just want to keep that at bay and see if I can't maybe get rid of it. Maybe a little brushing a couple times a week will help too. But I do think that the oral, all this stuff is linked below for you guys. The Tropiclean oral gel. So this is not the paste. This you simply put on your finger and you slide it around the gum line and on the dog's teeth. And this is supposed to help. So I would like to track that process and see if it does help for Big Gus, because I saw a little bit of tartar on his teeth. Another thing you may wonder, should I brush my dog's teeth every day, and am I doing it right? Am I doing it properly without causing harm to the teeth and gums? Brushing your dog's teeth 3 times a week is recommended. But if your dog is predisposed to genetic dental problems, daily brushing would be better. It's the best result to prevent plaque and tartar buildup that can lead into dental disease, okay? So 3 times a week is a good practice to go with, 3 times a week. If your dog has genetic dental problems or is predisposed to it, you start seeing plaque and tartar at age 1, that means they're predisposed to it. They don't have a lot of enamel. It's a genetic thing. Then daily brushing is definitely recommended. And you can prevent your dog's teeth from getting terrible like that picture I just showed you. You really can. So here's a big question. How much pressure do I apply to the teeth and the gums when I'm brushing? Especially if you're using a brush. You want to use a toothbrush made for dogs because they're on the softer bristle side. You don't want to be too aggressive with their teeth and gums. So I do like these brushes. I did link them for you, so you can go check them out. They're very inexpensive. All of these products are very affordable. So it's a great time to get started with the routine, guys. So how do you know if you're applying too much pressure or how much pressure to apply? Picture using a toothbrush on a tomato, which is, a tomato has very thin skin. So if we push too hard, we're going to see that we're actually moving the skin or possibly puncturing it. So picture how much pressure you would apply to a tomato when you're brushing your dog's teeth. And that's about the idea, mindset that you should take with you when you're brushing your dog's teeth, okay? So you don't want to be too aggressive. You can definitely disturb their gum health by being too aggressive. So however much pressure you would put on that tomato is a good mindset to approach that with. You brush in a circular motion to massage the plaque away from the gum line too. So you brush in circular motions, kind of like we brush our teeth, just toothbrushing, just like brushing your teeth, okay? And you know you don't want to put too much pressure on your teeth and gums because you can cause problems. If your dog doesn't like toothbrushes, try the idea of using a wet washcloth. You can apply your toothpaste right to the washcloth, put your finger between the washcloth and the dog's mouth there and massage with the washcloth instead of a toothbrush. It's really effective, and a lot of people just choose to do that. They prefer that. They feel they have more control. They feel the dog accepts it better. So there's a winner right there. If the dog is tolerating and it's an effective method, then go with it. They also make these little toothbrushes that are rubbery, and you just slip them on your finger. Groomer's Choice has them too. Very good option. And then you just toss them. They're disposable. You can get them in a whole box of them. So there's many tools that we can use to brush their teeth. Can treats and even the food your dog eats accelerate tooth and gum disease? This is a big one. Of course, there are plenty products out there, products, treats, remedies on the market today that claim to prevent and to reverse and cure periodontal disease in pets. But I'm going to break it all down for you right here, my friends. I want to help you make the decisions for your dogs that will take the stress out of it, and you can feel confident in your decision for your dental health routine for your dogs. Now, are these treats going to prevent plaque and tartar buildup? It's a big question. If it was that simple, guys, just eating a treat, why would we even brush our teeth? Why wouldn't they make a treat for us? I'm starting to like these dental sticks. Why wouldn't they make a treat for us to eat instead of brushing our teeth? It's silliness. Now, I just got another piece. Okay. Is this chew treat? Is it a good choice? This one, that one, this one. How do you know if it's a good choice for your dog to aid in good dental health? Understanding what is in the treats and chews is the first step to counteract tooth decay. So picking the right treats to aid. Don't just give your dogs treats instead of brushing. This is maybe a once a week treat that you can give your dog, say after they've allowed you to brush their teeth, and it becomes part of the routine, and they're like, I get that treat. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to like these. They are going to like these. These taste good. They really do. So this could be more of a treat, and obviously it has immune health support in it, these particular ones. That's why I like them. They're linked below. And they also have the natural ingredients right up front. Sunflower meal, chickpeas, tapioca, coconut glycerin, carrot, salmon oil, apple cider vinegar, citrus acid, which is a preservative. So all the ingredients are listed in order of the contents that make up the treat. So the majority of the treat is the first ingredients. Then the second largest ingredient is the second ingredient on the list. And that goes for our dog foods too. So picking these treats, understanding what is in the treats and chews is the first step to counteract your tooth decay, because you could be giving them something that's going to accelerate tooth decay. Excessive carbs that break down to sugar may be causing your dog's teeth and their health to decline, their teeth health. So understanding what's in the treats is important. If the treats are not biologically designed for a dog, it can prove to do just the opposite of help the tooth decay. It can cause tooth decay. So doing this research is very important. And that goes for the majority of pet food on the market today too, guys. I want to tell you, understanding the biological design and what's in it can actually have opposite effects and cause tooth decay. That includes food. Majority of pet food on the market today, most dog food brands are processed food loaded with nonsense fillers that absolutely accelerate plaque and tartar buildup on your dog's teeth. So getting that education is important. And I'm not going to harp on it because I know people don't want to hear it, but I want you to do your own research about what a dog is designed to eat, what is in the pet food that's on the shelves, okay? We need to know these things. Feeding your dog a non-processed, fresh, whole food diet has proven to lead to better dental health in dogs. And that is one of the reasons why I feed my dogs the farmer's dog fresh food, is to help with their teeth. That's one of the reasons. It's not processed, it's not dehydrated, it's fresh, whole food. I could eat it. And I probably should do that for you guys. The farmer's dog food is nutritionally balanced for dogs, and it meets their daily food health recommendations. And I am now an Ambassador Pro for the Farmer's Dog, which allows me to offer you a free 100% free trial of the food for your dog, completely customizable. You can customize the plan, different recipes to choose from, whatever their lifestyle is, you can customize it to their life needs. And I really, really stand behind this company, guys, or I would not be involved with them. And I wouldn't be feeding my dogs this food every day, and I do. So you can rest assured that I am being very transparent with you on the farmer's dog. But dog food has definitely proven, if it's junk food, it can absolutely cause tooth decay. It's like eating sugar all the time, or eating McDonald's every day. Oh, it's processed food, right? If we ate McDonald's every day and that's all we ate, we are going to have health problems and probably teeth problems too. So I have linked the farmer's dog free trial link for you in the description below of this video, and please consider trying that free trial. It's free to you for a species appropriate diet for your dog. It's for you. Why giving your dogs toys and treats can promote healthy gums and teeth? Chewing on bones. My dogs love to chew on bones. Those wishbone shaped bones, they're linked below. That's an Amazon product. I get them on Amazon. My dogs love those. That is like their favorite. They chew on them every evening when Alex and I are done with all of our work duties, our home duties, and we're finally chilling on the couch and I'm answering your emails or responding to comments. My dogs are chewing on these bones every night, and it is a good thing. It helps to move the plaque and tartar out of their teeth, so it's not an issue. So chewing on dogs is a natural way for your dog to scrape plaque and tartar off of their teeth, chewing on bones. If your dog likes to chew on a Kong toy, that's great too. Any Kong toy or pet safe bones, this is going to encourage this activity daily for your dogs, seriously, because it is helping. Even if you're brushing every day or every 3 times a week, add that chewing on the Kong toys and the bones, safe bones, never cooked bones, never cooked natural bones. Add that into their part of their routine, their dental routine, because it really does help. Some dogs don't like chewing on Kong toys or bones. We know this. Some dogs are picky. Like, I don't want to do that. So this may be a case when you selectively choose a tooth treat. So you really figure out which one's not junk food. And these don't seem to be junk food at all. So they can help with with dental care. So selecting the right one, be selective in choosing the tooth treat that it can help maintain good tooth and gum health for your dogs, absolutely. But be certain to choose a tooth treat that has only a few ingredients and that they are natural. Then we know we're not giving them sugar and carbs and unwanted stuff. But remember, tooth treats have calories in them. And that should be considered into their meal plan. So if you're giving them a tooth bone every day, which I don't recommend that, because I rather them get their nutrients from their food. If you're giving them tooth bones every day, you got to remember to deduct that from their food intake for the day, or your dog could gain weight. You don't want that either. Now we have extra work on the heart. We don't want to cause our dogs to have any things to combat, okay? Weight gain, bad teeth, those are all things that compromise their quality of life. So if you do give them treats, just be aware of the caloric value, and try not to overdo it with these, because you want them to rather get their nutrients from their food. I'm a firm believer that dogs should get their calories and their nutrition from the food that they eat, which is why I rarely give my dogs treats or tooth bones. I give them bones to chew on, but I don't give them treats. It's never been a part of the routine for my dogs. Another thing to keep in mind with tooth bones, these guys, tooth bone treats, is the possibility that your dog may ingest pieces of the treat or the bone, which can cause an upset stomach. It can cause diarrhea if they digest pieces of it. They can chew these up. These are digestible. These treats that I have linked for you are digestible. They're meant to eat them. Just like this. It's not bad, really. Honestly. It's not bad at all. I've had worse. So, they're made to be digested. Okay? So just be mindful of that, because if they're going to eat these dental bones, whether it's a greenie or whatever, and there's been a lot of controversy over greenies, so do your homework there. If you do give your dogs greenies, or if you're thinking about it, research it. Get out there on the internet and research it. But these treats won't, but some treats can cause intestinal blockage, and that can be life-threatening, depending on what it is that could get in there that is not digestible. So it's very important to choose the chewies that we give our dogs wisely by selecting chews comprised of limited ingredients, natural ingredients, or single one ingredient is even better. So limited ingredient treats is a good choice. That's how you know you're doing the right thing in that choice of dental treats for your dogs. I really want you to listen to me carefully on this next point. Never allow your dog to enjoy a bone or chew treat unattended. Please, don't ever do it. There are a lot of injuries and fatalities that occur every year because of dogs choking on a bone or a particle of a bone or a particle of a treat, ingesting the treat too quickly, which can get lodged in their windpipe and cause them to choke, or an intestinal blockage. If it makes it down through the stomach, it can become an intestinal blockage from swallowing bone pieces and chewies. Rawhide is what I'm really referring to in this. We all know rawhide now is a bad choice. No rawhide. It is not digestible for dogs. They can't digest it, but they will ingest it. They chew it and lick it and chew it until it's soft and they can swallow it. And they do. That's what they do. So enough of treats and what we feed them and all that, but it does affect their dental health. That's why we had to talk about it. It really affects the dental health, especially if they're eating junk food. Definitely. The next thing we're going to talk about, we touched on it a minute ago, is genetic tooth dispositions, genetic tooth diseases that some dogs are prone to. Many dogs are prone to it. And how do we combat that? Daily maintenance. Just like we talked earlier, daily brushing. Possibly taking the oral gel that is just merely to put on your dog's teeth and gums after you brush the teeth. If your dog is prone to genetic disposition, and this goes for a lot of small breeds, a lot of toy breeds, and you want to do your dental routines daily, your daily brushing, daily cleaning or daily treatment, as well as chewing on them bones, them hard bones that they can't ingest. It's so good for keeping the tartar and plaque down. So daily maintenance is the best practice to combat genetic teeth problems. And that goes for a lot of our small toy breeds, guys. They all are predisposed to this genetic dental diseases. It's very common in our toy breeds and our small breeds. So keep a close relationship with your vet to monitor when a complete dinner making me hungry. Keep that close relationship with your vet. I want you and your vet to monitor when you may need to do a complete dental, and your vet will help you make that decision, so that you don't end up having decay or problems that are going to be kind of permanent. Even if they do get their teeth cleaned, some of the problems, if it wasn't done at the right time, sometimes it can be just cause a problem with their gums or their tooth, or they could break teeth or something like that. So we don't want to wait till these things happen, especially for the dogs that are genetically prone to dental disease. How can dental disease affect your dog's overall well-being and shorten their lifespan? This is the one I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. You guys probably already know because you're all very smart. And I know that you know a lot of these things, but I have to say it. So, this video is going to be out there on the replay too, so we want to help as many people as we can. Dental disease allows infection to enter the dog's bloodstream, and that's carried in through the blood to all their vital organs, and that includes their skin. Don't forget, their skin is the largest organ in their body. So if your dog has dental disease, he has infection in his mouth. That infection gets into the bloodstream and it gets carried through, and it can compromise their vital organs. And if this is left unattended over time, this can slowly cause your dog's organs to stop functioning properly, and eventually it can compromise the health and well-being of your dog entirely. And you don't want that. This can all stem from bad teeth, from dental problems, periodontal disease, okay? So don't forget that your dog's skin, you know, can be affected too. Just like I mentioned, dental disease can lead to chronic skin problems for your dog because of all the infection throughout their bloodstream. It can cause a severe imbalance to the skin, and it can cause discomfort for your pet too. Obviously, when their skin is irritated, they have nerve endings real close to this surface of their skin. Their skin does not have as many layers as our skin. So they have nerve endings. Once the skin gets really upset, those nerve endings become exposed or nearly exposed. And it's painful. They're sensitive to everything. So if you've ever noticed a dog that has severe skin problems, red, flaky, itchy, digging all the time, they may have some raw areas, you know, that is their nerve endings are being triggered, that it's painful because it's gotten to be in such a bad way. So these are all things, and believe it or not, a lot of skin problems can stem from dental problems. That's why I have to say it. You know, we have to get it all out there. So that is my notes for tonight, but now it's time to answer your questions. So I'm going to jump here in the chat, and I see you guys are all putting the lines in front of your questions, which helps me tremendously. Those are the only questions I'll be able to see and answer. I see that sneaky Janelle, sneaky, super chatted me and said, King of Aliens wants to know if you can froth the toothpaste. Thank you for this important topic. You're welcome, Janelle. And I will answer that question as soon as you get your salute. Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate the super chat, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. I know you had an ear infection, so hopefully your antibiotics have kicked in. Thank you for that. Now to answer King of Aliens' question. That doesn't surprise me. That is a King of Aliens question. Can you froth toothpaste? You don't have to. If you buy this one, let me kiss it. The Tropiclean foam, it already frothed. Look at that. It's toothpaste froth. It smells amazing. Don't be surprised. This smells actually so minty. But there's your froth toothpaste. Happy to obliged. So let's get your questions answered, guys, because I can't wait to tell you what the next live stream is going to be. This one is really good too. I love our topics. I absolutely do. So the first court jester is giving me super chats too. If you need money for toothpaste, here, save the treats for me instead. Oh, you would probably like these treats. I mean, thanks for the stream. You're welcome, and you're so getting saluted. Ryder, thank you. I'm glad that you like the topic too. And yeah, you can eat these guys. Okay. It's okay. So I like to know that. I like to know if it's something that is not, if it's this natural, I can eat it. That means my dogs can too. So looking for questions. Don't forget to put a line in front of your questions. I see Amy Wilkins has a question. I got dog chew in my mouth here. Hold on a second. Let me get that. Okay. She says, how long to brush each time? Great question. How long do you brush? They say, shouldn't you sing happy birthday when you're brushing your teeth? I'll be honest. I am a toothbrush Nazi. And when I brush my teeth for like 5 minutes. But as long as you're gentle, it's not overkill, right? I use one of those spin brushes. So I just I want to make sure my teeth are clean. It's very important. My dentist always says that I'm doing a good job. So how long do you do this for your dog? I would say, you know, sing happy birthday. And the important thing is to make sure that you have in circular motions made it to all the outsides of the teeth, all the flat sides of the teeth, and all the insides of the teeth. So however long it takes you to circulate your way around through all those areas is your answer. And some dogs are going to be like, you know, like my big Gus, because he's not used to me brushing his teeth. He was like, why are you doing this? I was like, because I got to show these people how to do it. Hold still. He's like, okay. So they'll get used to it. They will, as long as you don't make it a bad thing. You make it a good thing. You know, maybe you buy a bag of these treats and you start brushing the teeth every, say 3 times a week, and it follows up with one of these nice tooth buns. That is a treat. That's a treat to them. And believe me, they taste good enough. The dog's going to be like, that's a treat. So that is creating a routine for your dog. Yeah, you let me brush your teeth. Maybe you weren't crazy about it, but immediately you get this. Like as soon as you're done, good boy. Then all they remember is when you stopped doing this, that they were like, oh, what are you doing? You gave them a treat. That's telling them they did what you wanted them to do. And eventually you will probably only have to maybe do this once a week in your 3-time-a-week daily routine of brushing. As long as they get treated, they're associating that with the act of brushing their teeth. So that's a good thing. I'm not sure if this is a question from LM. Non-anesthesia dental cleanings better than nothing. What we're doing here, what we're talking about, of course it is. This is how you keep from having to get the anesthetic dental cleaning, the complete cleaning, is by doing this maintenance routine. It has to be products that are made for dogs so that they're not toxic. Our toothpaste is toxic to dogs. So I can't say it enough because I don't want any of you to make that mistake. I really don't. The next question from Cindy Zen says, hi Amy, you said you don't brush your dog's teeth. How often do they get their teeth professionally cleaned? My dogs have never had their teeth professionally cleaned, and they do not need it. And that is because they eat whole foods. That has a lot to do with it. Both my dogs, little Gus is 6, my English Bulldog, he's 6, and big Gus will be 6 in April. So they're 6 years old, and they have never had a dental cleaning, and the vet has never suggested it either. So it hasn't been warranted. I told you before in the demo, I don't give my dogs a lot of treats, like hardly ever. And if I do, because I'm training with them or something like that, it's going, you know, sometimes you can use their food as a treat. That way you know they're getting good stuff. Most of your dog cookies, the dog stuff that smells like bacon and stuff, that is 100% junk food, and those kind of treats will rot the teeth. Absolutely. Because it's processed. It's also got a lot of carbs that break down to sugar, and you don't want that. You want your dog to be getting their nutrition from their food. So sometimes I'll get the dehydrated treats, and I just break them into the size of my fingernail. If your dog gets a taste of something in his mouth, to the dog, it's a treat. He doesn't need a huge treat to know he got treated. A little something that he smells, it tastes good, he goes, I just got a treat, thank you very much, high five. To them, that's the treat. I had to wash down my dental stick. I'm glad you brought that up, Cindy. I really am, because that gave me an opportunity to speak on that, the fact that my dogs are 6 years old and they've never had or needed a dental cleaning. Deborah has a question. Deborah says, you need to apply water to the toothpaste do you need to apply water to the toothpaste when it's on the toothbrush and rinse after? Good question, because that's what we have to do, right? No, this is fully meant to be ingested. They know they're going to eat it. They know whatever we make to brush our dog's teeth is going to be eaten by the dog. Anything you put in a dog's mouth is going to be eaten. So no, it is safe to ingest. That's why, our toothpaste is not. It is absolutely not. So you don't have to worry about it. And no, there's no rinsing required. So don't worry about that either, Debbie. It's a great question. I just lost my place. It's a great question because, we think about our procedures when we brush our teeth. We shouldn't ingest that toothpaste. It's toxic to us, but not with our dogs. There's no rinsing. They'll simply just, Big Gus just for about 30 seconds and it was all gone. He ate it, and that was that. So, but that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. Jazzle Leaguer asked the question. Good to see you. I know you said you haven't been here in a while, and we're so happy to have you. I'm happy you're all here, by the way. I have a very snappy and tight-lipped now 10-year-old dachshund who's never been fine with even just my finger with the oral gel. Any tips to get her to ease up trying to let you be able to do that? A lot of dogs can be very, very tricky. That is a good question. If they won't allow you to just lift the lip and slide the gel so you don't have to brush. I know this says peanut butter. It is clear. It smells a little bit like peanut butter, so I guess that maybe it has a peanut butter flavor, so the dogs are like, that's yummy. That's probably what it is. But anyway, I would just do it quickly. I would say possibly when the dog is really chilled or tired. It's a 10-year-old dog, so at the end of the night, and I know they can be, as soon as they hear this, they know you're going to do it. They can be like, oh. But try when the dog is sleepy and chilling. Try it in a different location than where you normally would try to approach brushing the teeth or putting gel on. Like maybe if your little dachshund likes to do some tricks for you for a treat, so you have a treat and you want them to do tricks, maybe you get them positioned for that, so you have their attention. They know they're getting ready to get a treat, and then you apply the gel to that might be the easiest, quickest thing for you to do if your dog's real finicky about having their teeth touched. And then you give them a treat. And if that goes well a couple times, that's how quickly a dog associates an act with being treated. That they did something you liked and they got something for it. So just training. Try to train your dog, in a different setup than what you normally would do when you're trying to put this stuff on their teeth or in their mouth. So that they're not associating, every time I'm sitting on mom's bathroom floor after she brushes her teeth, she goes for mine. Maybe try it in the living room or outside on the porch when you're chilling and they're watching the birds. Get a treat, get them to do a high five for you or something, and then just try to do that work with them then, so that they can't associate it with a certain part of the house. Maybe that might help. But it's a good question, and the struggle is real. I hear you. I know. I have a bulldog. He's not easy to do anything with. Nothing. SVCC Toy Schnauzers, that's Sean, has a question. I'm so glad to see you, Sean. Sean says, so Amy, Sean is the breeder. She bred Ellie Grace for us. And she's like Ellie is just perfect. So Sean is perfect to us because she bred a perfect dog for us. So Sean says, so Amy, I think I hear you saying if we feed Farmer's Dog, then we will not need to brush teeth because the dogs will not get tartar. That is very accurate, Sean. It's typical that when a dog eats a whole, fresh, non-processed diet, dry food is all processed food. So that is why often, that's what 95% of dogs eat. Is dry dog food, it's processed food, because we've been programmed to do that. So how is this that the fresh food doesn't cause buildup? Well, it's not loaded with sugars, it's not loaded with fillers, it's very balanced. It is what the dog is meant to digest. But I know even when I fed my dogs raw food, their teeth were fabulous. I mean, I don't understand that, but it must have something to do with the junk that's in processed food. It's like eating out all the time or eating sugar. It's going to compromise our teeth. So if they eat a processed diet, that is definitely going to accelerate the plaque and tartar buildup. And I have noticed with my dogs, and that's how I can confidently say it. They're 6 years old and they eat whole foods. They have for the last 3 years. And they do not have plaque or tartar. But Sean, you have a toy breed. You have all toy breeds. They're small breeds. they often are predisposed to genetic, they have a thin enamel on their teeth. There's been a lot of studies. You are probably already aware of this because you love to do research and you love your dog breeds. So it has definitely been researched and studied that some dogs do have a genetic disposition no matter what you do, even if you brush. So if feeding the farmer's dog may not allow you to have that be your only dental preventative, because you have a toy breed that is possibly predisposed to having thin enamel on their teeth, because that's what it is. That's why it allows them to get buildup and tartar. So what I would say, Sean, is monitor it, watch it. You know, I think you did start a free trial with Farmer's Dog. So, I mean, you're not going to see results like this overnight, guys, especially if it's just a food change. With the brushing and stuff, you probably would see results. If you did it 3 times a week, you probably would start to see results in a couple of weeks. But food may take a little bit longer to show those results because you've got to cycle through all the other yucky, toxic stuff that was in their body, and it takes a little while to flush that out. So, but definitely monitor it if you have anybody in the chat or that is watching. If you have a small or a toy breed, they are typically the ones that are predisposed to having decay and periodontal disease, because they, for some reason, throughout the bloodlines and stuff, they just have thin enamel on their teeth. So daily care will help with that. And you may need to do that in conjunction with fresh feeding sometimes. Sean also says the cost of vet cleaning, yes, it's expensive. The cost of the vet cleaning the dog's teeth probably is more than feeding the farmer's dog. Yes. I know here it's about $800 to $900 for one cleaning. And let's face it, we don't want our dogs put under anesthesia at all if we can avoid it, ever. You know, I mean, we just don't need that. So that is true. That's why I say the cost of the farmer's dog, it outweighs the benefits. That's one of the reasons, and that's exactly what Sean just pointed out, is that the vet bills from bad skin, fresh food helps with bad skin too, ear problems, all these things often can be food related, something that's lacking in the diet. So the system gets out of balance. But when you balance out the diet and you balance these things, it can help balance out your dog's overall health too. So that is true. So that would be worth, Sean says, that would be worth exploring, because it will give us a real cost, you know, to feed whole food. It will give you a savings because you're feeding the whole food and you don't have to get those complete dentals as often. And with a toy breed, you may still need to visit that idea at times. But if you're doing a daily maintenance routine as well, because you feel like you have to, it should keep you out of the vet's office for a complete dental. It really should. I feel very confident in saying that. Christine Renninger has a table. She has a table and a question. She says, is farmer's dog raw or cooked? It's cooked. It's not raw. Don't ever be afraid of raw dog food, guys. I know a lot of people are. Alex and I fed our dogs raw for probably... It was a huge commitment for us because we couldn't really have anybody else take care of their feeding them but us. And we constantly had to be making it and freezing it every month, and we just ended up really running out of time to do that. So our dogs ate raw for about probably 8 months at least, maybe even a year. And that is, to me, that is the best diet, as long as it is prepared appropriately and is the right proportion of organ meat, of muscle meat, of bone, of, you know, vegetables and other things. We used to put sardines in their foods too, which is very helpful. It has all the omega-3 fatty acids and stuff like that. So if you're going to feed raw, you have to know what you're doing. You have a lot of research to do. So the farmer's dog takes that off of my plate. I don't have to worry about it. I've already researched the farmer's dog and what's in it, how the food is prepared. But yes, Christine's question was it raw or cooked? It is cooked. It's lightly cooked. It's not overcooked. It's lightly cooked. And I want to say about the farmer's dog, a lot of dogs seem to be finicky. Ellie Grace is one of them, with the chicken recipe, because it has chunks of broccoli in it. and she picks them out. She doesn't want the chunks of broccoli. My dogs love every single recipe. The pork, the chicken, the turkey, and the beef. They don't complain. But hey, some dogs are picky. So if you're gonna try farmer's dog for the first time, I'd say don't go for the chicken. Maybe go for the turkey. The chicken is the only one that has those chunks of broccoli in it. I don't know why. The other ones don't. It has other vegetables and legumes and stuff like that. But so if you're gonna try it, don't try the chicken right away, because that may turn your dog off to, I don't want to eat broccoli, you know, kind of like a kid. Cindy says, what prompted you to switch from feeding your dogs raw food to the farmer's dog? I went from raw food to Ollie, and I fed Ollie. We fed them Ollie for, it could have been close to 2 years. We've been feeding them the farmer's dog now for, I'd say, about 6 months, I think. I switched. Okay, so when I went, Ollie and farmer's dog are the same principle. So it's fresh food, it's slightly cooked and flash frozen. So that's how it's prepared. With all natural food, all natural ingredients. Both are committed to a well-balanced, nutritional, species-appropriate diet. Both of them are. Now, I had some issues with Ollie. So what made me switch from raw to Ollie was the convenience. It was a big inconvenience to spend one whole day a month grinding up raw chicken. It was kind of fun, but it was a mess. It was a huge cleanup afterwards too. We bought a meat grinder. We still have it. I'm not saying I won't never go back to feeding raw. If I have the time, I probably would. I mean, I know what's in the bowl. Knowing what's in the bowl is important. And that's how I felt with Ollie and with farmer's dog. Now, let me tell you, the reason I switched from raw to Ollie was fresh food, because it was too big of a commitment and we couldn't keep up with it. So, and the expense-wise, I'd say, was pretty darn close. What it cost us to feed raw, what it cost us to feed Ollie or farmer's dog was pretty close. So that wasn't the issue of switching to Ollie. I switched to Ollie for convenience. And after we had some discrepancies sometimes with our orders, and the customer service didn't seem to take care of it very well. And hey, we rely on this stuff to land on our doorstep. This is what my dogs eat. I cannot go to the grocery store and buy it. So I'm relying on good customer service. And I feel that Ollie had failed us on that account one too many times. Sometimes the proportions were not right. We got quite good at looking at this food. We're feeding it to our dogs twice a day. And Alex and I were both noticing, hey, this proportion is not right for Big Gus. It's not enough. And like I said, I didn't feel like they tried to rectify the problems. And so we went on the search after that. So then we started looking at Num Num. We started looking at farmer's dog. The farmer's dog would get us our food, you know, where we're based, they can get us our food very quickly. Num Num's in California. So that was not an option. But farmer's dogs seem to have the best reviews anyway. And when I hopped on and decided to give it a try and set it up, I was very impressed with how the website worked and how I could customize these meal plans for my dogs. And I had to a couple times reach out for customer service with farmer's dog, and they are number one with their customer service, because they know they have to be. We rely on this service. This food is delivered to our door. If it's not delivered when it's supposed to be, my dogs don't have food, and then I have to run to the store and get either raw food or fresh whole foods and cook it for them. Maybe I'm at work. I don't have time to do that. You know, so it became a real stressor. But with farmer's dog, I feel like they really have our backs, and the food actually looks more fresh that comes from farmer's dog. So I'm very happy with them. And then recently we connected, and they wanted to talk to me about becoming a brand ambassador. And I said, you do know that I feed my dogs? Because they didn't know what my name was. My name in their system is not my name online. So I said, I feed my dogs with farmer's dog. We're very happy with it. I said, I would love to talk about representing your company. So they were like, get out. So they looked me up and they go, well, I'll be darned, there you are, you know? So it worked out nicely, but I'm so happy to be with them, and I'm glad to talk to you about this. I don't want to stay stuck on this food topic too long. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it, and I respect that. It's okay. It's all good, guys. I understand. Christine says, I prefer it cooked. That's okay, Christine, and Farmer's Dog is cooked. So you don't have to worry about that. And hey, it's a preference. I get it. I understand. I don't see any more questions here, but I want to tell you guys what our next live stream is going to be. Are you ready? You're going to like this. So the next live stream, live from the grooming table, is scheduled for Monday, March 13th. That's in 2 weeks. Monday, March 13th at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this is going to be a special treat for you, as well as for me. Okay? No, we're not going to be eating. Well, we can be. I might have to get out the chewy sticks again. Like, I got to have a chewy stick for this one, okay? So the next live stream is going to be special. March 13th at 5:30. I've been working on setting this up for about the last month, and I think we've nailed it down, and we're definitely going to give it a go. We have a special guest, 2 of them, Rudy and Anthony from Grooming by Rudy. I'm sure you all know who they are. They have a YouTube channel. They will be joining us live on a video call discussing the fears groomers face daily in our profession. And together, we hope to offer you great advice on how to avoid some of them. Oh, there goes the light. Wow, that changed everything. Sorry, guys. Somebody's in here. Okay. Together, we are going to discuss and offer you guys some great advice on how to avoid some of the major setbacks that a groomer will face, and that is both physically and mentally. So we're going to dive deep into that with both Rudy and Anthony. It's going to be awesome. Rudy and Anthony will also share their journey as pet groomers, and you're not going to want to miss it, guys. It's Rudy trained with Nash Academy, and then if I'm correct, he taught a little bit with Nash. Well, we're going to find that out because we're going to ask him. I'm going to have all my interview questions lined up. But Rudy trained, so he went to a really good school, Nash Academy. And he has been grooming, I think he said, for, what did he tell me, close to 40 years? I mean, it's crazy. So he's seen a lot of changes in the industry. He's seen a lot of changes with products, tools, and equipment. He's seen a lot of changes in dog breeds. What were the popular dog breeds then or not so much now? There's so many cool topics and questions we can talk to and ask Rudy and Anthony. It's going to be wonderful. So mark your calendars for March 13th, 5:30, right here live from the grooming table. We're going to do a live video call with you guys. You're going to be there with us. Channel members, I will see you live in our monthly Zoom call this Saturday, March 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not a channel member and you want to join in on the monthly, we have one monthly learning call, and it is proven to be fantastic. So you can simply click the join button for $4.99 a month, and you get me for 1 hour, plus a lot of other content that nobody else has available viewing privileges to on my channel other than channel members. So I will see you channel members this Sunday, March 5th at 12. I cannot wait. The topic that we're going to be talking about and learning about is grooming senior dogs. And I have a lot of helpful secrets to share with you, including a downloadable notes file for you to add to your Sure Joy with Amy Lee and the Hounds notebook. You always get a note file, so you're creating your own notebook as a channel member. So don't forget, if you're a channel member and you're not available, don't worry. After it's live, it will be on the replay for channel members only. So, and it's always, you know, I have all of my lessons in a playlist, so you can simply follow through which ones you have watched and which ones you need to watch. So guys, we talked about the Farmer's Dog a lot, and I really love that Farmer's Dog commercial so much. And instead of a subscriber showdown, which is where I showcase all of your pets, or some of your pets, I shouldn't say all of them, that's a lot of pets. I'm going to be playing the Farmer's Dog full story advertisement at the end of this live stream right now so we can all have a good cry together and remember how much we love our dogs. So guess what? That's coming for you now. I want to thank you all for being here and joining me live from the grooming table. You're so loyal, you're so faithful, and you're so loyal to your pets, because that is the absolute main reason why you're here. Plus, you know that we're a good community and we're going to help each other. And that's what we've been doing. So I am so grateful to see you guys here tonight. And I want to thank you for giving up your evening to spend here with me and with our community of friends right here on Go Groomer. So give yourself a pat on the back and a hug from me, because I really do love you and I really appreciate you. Now you keep being awesome, and grab a tissue, because here it goes. I love you. See you in 2 weeks.
I'll always take care of you.
Slow down.
I wanna hold you forever.
Hey, little bear bear.
I wanna love you forever.
Let's not do that again, okay?
Don't worry, darling, about the rest of our lives. Through thick and thin, I'll be there by your side. 'Cause when I see those big, beautiful eyes looking into mine, I wanna hold you forever.
To have and to be from this day forward.
You forever.
Come on, bear.
Yes, I do, man.